All right. We're just gonna start from here. We're just gonna start from here and see how it's going.
Oh, it's working.
Is it?
Looks like it. Yeah. I mean, everyone's moving.
Are we moving?
Okay. Well, we're skipping, but we're moving.
Oh, it's trying. It's definitely trying.
Well, at least it still says excellent connection.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it's working.
Get in there. Get in
there. It's catching up. Yeah, it caught up.
Hey, we in there, like somewhere. Trying to make moves like U-Haul, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Moves like
I've been having bars all day, y'all. Y'all know how I do this,
bars
man.
all day.
Okay, cool. We're moving. Awesome. And it says excellent connection. Cool. So, again, for those who may not have heard because who knows?
Mm-hmm.
If you see me looking at my phone, I'm gonna be as you can see, monitoring the screen and the stuff that we're reading, the scripts that we're reading and stuff. So if you see me looking down, I'm still listening and monitoring the chat and everything. Hello, everybody coming in.
Guys?
Nice to see you. Sam Fernandez.
Hello.
See y'all.
Cool. Don't be messing up now. Come on. I really don't need it to just stay healthy. Again, in the chat, keep me updated if you see that it's like streaming a lot and we completely freeze and stop moving. Please do so. I mean, at this point, there's really not much more than what we've already done that we can do about it. Hopefully, it just corrects itself. Anyway, so I'm going to restart that. We are going to be going over Elitist Hollywood Strikes Again, True Hollywood Story, BTS Heads to the States, and Smoking in Korea. Not a lot of topics. Going to try to keep it short and sweet today. But there is going to be a lot to talk about, so who knows, it may still go on for a while. So, as far as Elitist Hollywood Strikes Again.
Oh, man.
What a fucking asshole.
Ooh.
Those are the words of District 9, Elysium, and Chappie, which is all in the same timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, he has said that it's all in the same world, so it's awesome.
Elysium is with Matt Damon, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I know that one.
So the director Neil Blomkamp of those movies, that's what he says.
Okay.
What brought these harsh words, but true words, were from Dune director Denis Villeneuve's latest comments on today's movies. Also citing, along with Patty, director of the latest Wonder Woman film, when a couple of weeks ago said, movies of Netflix look fake and she only made for big screen movies. Dennis also considers his work to be made only for the eyes sitting in a movie theater. When asked about the process of making artistic films on a big budget, Villeneuve said that it was certainly doable, like in the case of Christopher Nolan, director of the Dark Knight series and Tenet, and Alfonso Cuarón, director of Gravity and Roma, a movie he released through Netflix, by the way, saying he knew it would potentially play to its widest audience by doing so, but brought up Dennis brought up Martin Scorsese's comments against big budget films that, as Scorsese says, were not real cinema. Martin Scorsese, who directed The Irishman, also released on Netflix. I just want to nail in the fact that these people who are constantly shitting on Netflix original films are also getting paydays from Netflix, who gives them the ability to release their films during the pandemic, as well as productions of smaller budgets. I just want to make sure that that's in there. Anyway, Villeneuve goes on to say, perhaps the problem is there are too many Marvel films that are nothing more than a cut and paste of others. Maybe these types of movies have turned us a little bit into zombies and only sees hope in Marvel's hire of Chloe Zhao, a director he approves of, for Marvel's Eternals, calling it a genius move. These statements are what brought on Neil Blomkamp's response of him being a fucking asshole for saying these things.
Yeah.
Scorsese's comments against Marvel films caused Doctor Strange director Scott Derrickson to tweet out, "As a director, I don't slag on the work of other directors. Even when I don't like something they've made, this job is hard enough for all of us, and nobody ever sets out to make a bad movie."
Nope.
Which, facts. Dune itself, speaking of talking about directors' other work, Dune itself has been called a technically brilliant, visually amazing movie with top-notch cast and deep sci-fi concepts. A shame then that it feels like a drag in its back half, and called beautiful to behold, which at the end of the day means it looks real nice, good use of your multi-millions you had at your disposal. But still at the end of the day, if you didn't have those dollars, would your storytelling that you got from a book still, as opposed to Marvels who get their stories from comics,
Right.
would your story still send the audience? Why do all of these directors that talk about the artistry of movies and shit on movies that are just fun always seem to forget that they have a big cushion of cash that they're sitting on? Like, you're telling me your movie is better than another's because it looks like $1 million with the millions you have at your disposal, but your story could be trash.
Yes.
Marvels look bomb.
Right.
Just because their story is pedestrian or not extravagant enough for your exquisite palate doesn't mean your shit is better. It's just not for you.
Right. Precisely.
So once again, Hollywood tries to keep that line between their high brass, high class, stick high up their ass, and the rest of us schmucks who just love to make stuff.
Okay, I am tired. I don't understand this concept because I am not this person. What happened to being creative and creating art because of passion?
Capitalism.
Not for competition. Yeah, but fuck that though. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, I understand that, okay, we talk about this in general. If you don't like your job, leave it. Like, if you are not passionate about what you do, fucking quit. So, if you are a movie maker and you do it for the money, you are doing it for the wrong reasons. I don't understand why you still do it. You're going to live a very miserable fucking life. Stop.
I mean, I don't even think that Denis Villeneuve is like just in it for the money, because he seems to really enjoy the visualizations that he can create as a visual storyteller, as a filmmaker. He seems to really be focusing on that and that alone.
Yeah, but that's based off of your accessibility to money. Like, it's not even based off of the abilities that you have without money. So that's why I'm like, there are stories and visuals that, are you kidding me? Like, going back and watching some old stuff sometimes, and like from the 80s or 90s, and I'm looking back and I'm like, oh gosh, we were kind of like ahead of our time back then. That's not bad for coming from the 80s or 90s. Yeah. So no. You can still create beautiful stories, beautiful works. Like, classics. You can still, like, there are talented people out there who do editing, who love editing. There are talented people out there who love to do makeup. Like, this is their passion. Like, if you are worried about it visually, hire the people who are passionate about this shit, and they will work harder. Yeah. They will. But, like, it's a team thing. It's effort. It's, passion. Like, you put in as much effort as you can passionately put into stuff. So that's what makes the story. It's not about how much money you have to create the story. It's about how much passion you have to make the story.
Right, because there have been movies where I'd be like, you know what? It doesn't look that appealing, but I can feel how passionate they were about telling this story in this. And I'm just not like, oh, man, this movie looks fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Trash. Yeah. Oh, this is just a cut and paste of what everybody else is. You want to talk about cut and paste? We've seen Dune. Read it in the book, read it in the comic, and saw the movie from a long time ago. I didn't, because that's not my thing. But, again, you want to talk about cut and paste.
Yeah, y'all ain't got originality no more. So
Right, if you want to talk about that, you're
right?
talking about making something that we've already seen before just look better. Give us something new.
Exactly. If you want to talk about being creative and I make things for the big screen, how about you give us another story that we haven't seen? Like,
Right.
that's not for the big screen.
I make
That
stuff
shit-
to be seen in the big screen. I make stuff because I enjoy making stuff. And if people like
Exactly.
viewing my stuff, that's even better because it's just like, I
Exactly.
made stuff, I like my stuff, you like my stuff, that's great stuff.
Right? It makes it even more worth it.
And
Like,
if you're watching on your phone or in a theater, don't care. You're watching it, you're
Exactly.
enjoying it.
You know my
I'm
work.
satisfied.
Like-
I'm satisfied.
Especially if you're able to impact people, because like that's like, you know, the little short films that I started doing, but I never got to continue and finish and stuff, which I will be, so check out for those. But the stories that I wanted to do, I wanted to make these stories because I didn't see them being made in the industry. So for me, that's a passion thing for me. Like, I want to bring reality to the TV industry. Like, this is the real life, you know, that like everybody has like these happy endings and shit. It's not always happy endings. And that's why I wrote the stories that I wrote, because I want to bring that real shit to the industry. And I do it because I want to. And I'm not going to have the best quality because I don't have a whole production team, but I have friends who want to be a part of it. I have family who wants to be a part of it. Like, I have people that I can count on who believe in that just as much as I believe in it, and we help each other out. And that's what makes something good. And that's what brings the story together, and that's what's going to get people to watch your stuff and to believe in you. Not based off of, oh my god, it's just so pretty, like, I would watch it. No, I can find pretty shit on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for something that's just pretty, I can do it there.
I can take a pill and make something look pretty.
Exactly.
And something will look pretty.
Exactly.
I mean,
I don't, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, like John Carpenter's The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Oh my god.
They had to use all practical effects, and when that film came out, no one liked it. Like no one, like it was considered trash because there was stuff that was more visually pleasing that came out around that time. Now people are looking back at it. It's in film schools and acting schools now as like, oh yeah, this was slept on. We didn't know. And I feel like if you appeal to the finance side of it too much, then yeah, you can miss out on what people really want. And you can miss out on what it is that you really want to deliver anyway. What is it?
And you bring up a really good point, because at the end of the day, it's just like, oh, at that time, the visuals didn't look appealing. There are other visuals that look better. But as time went on, it was the story that made people want to stay interested, because those practical effects are still practical effects. Technology is increasing all the time. So at the end of the day, your shit may look great right now, but are people going to watch when the graphics aren't so, oh my god, it's beautiful? When they get over that, or at the end of the day are going to be like, it was a great story though. It was a story that kept me interested. Because as far as like with Marvel films, their stories are interesting. I mean, it's comics and stuff.
Yes.
But I feel like with Marvel, first of all, the comics already exist, so they already have a story, and then the comics already have fans. I don't feel like they have any real work that they have to do aside from sticking to the material and making it look cool. But creating something original, which is when they make their little tweaks on the films and whatnot, like for example having Tony Stark create Ultron instead of Hank Pym. I thought that was weird. I thought it was weird. It wasn't going with it. It wasn't going along with. Point being, John Carpenter's The Thing. It has these practical effects that were all one takes. They had to do it all in one.
Yes.
Right, so it's just like, don't fuck it up, because we can only bust it through one time. We only have enough blood for one take. Get it right. As opposed to, oh no, we'll just shoot it again because all this is going to be done in post anyway. So if anything, it's like, it makes that filmmaking process like a lot more authentic, because they know that like we have to get it right. We can't take a second take. We can't send it back to the graphic artist and say, make this look better and all that. Like, we have to get it right. So it's just like all these things that you seem to be criticizing the Netflix fake films for and the Marvel cut and paste films for. First of all, they have a formula. Yeah. And it works for them. Let them make their money. Yeah. What do you have against them? Let them make their money. What does that have anything to do with you?
Right.
And I don't even get when he says like he thinks that the Marvel movies are making us like zombies. Like maybe I'm just too stupid to get it. And I'm like, the only thing Marvel makes us do is now sit through the credits because they think that a movie about, you know, somebody running through a cornfield, that there's gonna be a clip at the end. That's the only thing. Like every single movie, they're like, I'm gonna just wait. There could be something at the end. And I'm just like, do you see the kind of movie this is? This isn't gonna have an end clip. It might be. So I like used to having worked at a movie theater, I would save people tons of time.
And they didn't even create that trend.
Right. But they like capitalized on it. And they were like, oh, we're gonna give you a sneak peek of the movie that might be coming out, or something that could connect to like the next thing, or you know, something like that. So that's just jolly in the view. So that's something that they've like done. So I really don't get like all this hate that like Netflix movies and like Marvel movies and stuff are getting. It's just like, let them make their money and you do what you need to do, and you can be like, you know, it's not for me, it's not my style of movie making or whatever. I prefer to like focus on like the visuals of it and the like the graphics that come up in post in it. Like I focus more on that. Right. Just say that. Like, why do you have to like shit on other people doing what they like to do? Like, why do you need this like level of like superiority like over? Like, I just don't understand it.
It's I think it's completely trash, and I think you should like let people like what they like. You know what I'm saying? Like for the other side of that, like Michael Bay. Michael Bay's known for just blowing stuff.
Blowing shit up.
We just gonna blow it up and it's gonna work somehow. They're gonna love it. Sometimes I don't mind turning my mind off and watching explosions.
Right.
That's fine, okay. But I'm not gonna be like, Michael Bay is a shit director because sometimes I get high and I watch stuff blow up, and that's great.
That makes sense. Like pick certain movies or whatever to appeal to your different personalities or different, you know, desires for that moment. Yeah. Like there are things that I'll watch just because like I can multitask and watch them at the same time and not like have to know that I don't have to pay all my attention to it and just appreciate what happens, because it's not always about the visuals.
Right.
Sometimes it's about the story, and I can hear the story by being still present. I don't have to actually watch anything. That's like I challenge you. Yeah. Right.
Right, just like we said last time. You work with my budget, and let me work with your budget, and let's see if we have the same opinions at the end of it. It's like, let me give you my shoestring budget, and you make your visually appealing, you know, whatever, and let me give me your budget, and let me make my money, or let me make my movie, and let me find out that I only needed half your budget to make it, you know,
exactly what I need. The cast and crew after and see how they feel about it.
Also. These elitist, you know, directors, filmmakers who think that they deserve all the audience and stuff because of the quality of their work, I dare you to do a podcast. do a like a movie podcast, like where your movie is only with words. There's nothing visual. Absolutely nothing visual, and you tell me how quality your story is, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
Yeah. Even Tenet with its cardboard lead, there was no development of his character. There was no lessons that he learned. There was nothing, which the development of the main character should, you know, you would think would be one of the most important things.
I have not seen that yet.
Oh, you gotta see it. You gotta see it. They put the money everywhere else.
Okay, so it's good. It's fun.
It looks great.
Yeah, so it's fun to watch in that way.
It's fun to watch. At the end of it, I'm like, I don't know what happened, but it looked great. It looked good. I don't know what happened, but there was like, there's a story here. I know there's a story here.
I would not have fun watching that. My face would be like this the whole time.
If you didn't enjoy Inception or anything that's too...
No, I loved Inception.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where my difference is.
Okay.
I love movies that make me think. That like mess up my brain. Like, I still to this day think of Inception because I still don't understand what's going on. So that I will consider that a great movie. If you mess with anything that I already have in me and you question everything about myself, you're amazing. Amazing. But if you just throw a bunch of bombs in my face and a bunch of fight scenes and a bunch of like
establishing
nice.
Landscape shots, like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks so nice. Props to the special effects team because they did it and not you.
You know what?
Yeah.
Because this is a movie that neither of them have seen yet, which we should watch actually today. If you're down.
I'm down. Just let me know.
Malignant.
Oh!
I saw parts of it.
No, I know. But
Yes.
Oh,
I want to see.
I wouldn't say it was the best quality in
Graphics,
yes, in
special
graphics,
effects.
yes. Would not say it was the best quality, but when I tell you that shit had us questioning everything, every minute, trying to figure out the story, having conversations, like having to stop the story because we're like, yo, what is going on? That's a fucking story. James Wan?
Yeah.
This motherfucker, sometimes I'd be like, let me not expect so much out of him. Because he's done amazing things. But this, it wasn't the best quality, but yo, it was good. The story was amazing. Amazing.
Dang.
And that's why he will forever, ever be one of my favorites. Forever. Because he knows how to tell a story. He knows how to tell a story.
Yeah.
So then I say again, it seems like a lot of these directors that are saying stuff like this seem to be either like forgetting why they got into filmmaking in the first place,
Yes.
or their intentions on getting into filmmaking was tainted in the first place. Because do you want a reaction like that to your movie, or the best compliment you've ever gotten for your movie is like, it looked nice? Because as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, as somebody who wants to become like a great storyteller, you telling me that my shit looks nice?
That is not a compliment.
That's not a compliment to me. Because it should be like, oh yeah, you look nice. I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, well, what do you think of that person? She looks good.
So that's surface level. So basically, my story didn't get to you. Basically, you didn't get anything from it. Basically, you wasted your time. Like, okay, cool. Great.
Right. I mean, if you want to be known as a visual storyteller, then fine. Be the visual storyteller, but don't shit on other people that are focusing on the story.
Right.
And the visuals may not be as important to them. It's just like, why are you trying to create this like this circle of elitism? Like I don't understand, especially in this day and well, I mean, to be fair, they're all old.
Yeah, and they're all very traditional, very like still stuck in.
Yeah.
But either way, don't be mad that you can't compete.
No, for real. I mean,
That's all. That's all.
That was Patty. That was Patty's issue.
I mean,
Well, Patty can continue to be petty, and I will be petty back, bitch. You can't compete. Stop being a hater.
Yeah.
Keep drinking that haterade.
Can't compete.
Haterade. Haterade. All right. And moving on to the next topic.
Let's go.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
See?
Right?
True Hollywood story is next.
Oh,
All right, let's get into this. Netflix is being sued, god damn it, by a chess icon for their portrayal in the Queen's Gambit. In the final episode, a commentator says the only unusual thing about her really is her sex. And even that's not unique in Russia. There's Nona Gabrindashvili short, but she's the female world champion and has never faced men, when comparing the only two women in the tournament. In the 25-page filed lawsuit, Gabrindashvili began playing chess at the age of 13 in 1954, became female world championship at 20, and was the first woman to be awarded the title of Grand Master by 1968. The lawsuit says Gabrindashvili had competed against at least 59 male chess players, 28 of them simultaneously in one game, including at least 10 grandmasters of that time. It continued to say the allegation that has never because I'm like,
I mean, you get Gabrindashvili.
I know, it's just a lot to say.
Yeah.
Not I'm having trouble saying it, it's just a lot for my mouth to do. Gabrindashvili. It's like it's a lot for my mouth to do, so my tongue's misplacing its spot in my mouth. It's becoming a tongue twister. Has never faced men, is manifestly false, as well as being grossly sexist and belittling. That Netflix brazenly and deliberately lied about Gabardashvili's achievements for the cheap and cynical purpose of heightening the drama by making it appear that its fictional character had managed to do what no other woman, including Gabardashvili, had done. Oh, okay.
Wow.
But this is not the first time the merit of a person has been left in the dust for the sake of the story and the main character. Rapper Lil Kim expressed how unhappy she was with her portrayal, yes, and Notorious. The is it biopic?
I think it's biopic. I used to say biopic.
Me too.
I think it's biopic.
Okay. The biopic made about rapper Biggie, Kim was given very little opportunity to give her input on her role in Biggie's life and said the movie seemed to be based more on her on-stage persona than her as a person, presenting more of a caricature than a fully developed human being. Wow. I kind of had that feeling too. After hearing the complaints, Valletta Wallace, Biggie's mother, and Sean Diddy Combs, Biggie's longtime friend and collaborate, both of which were producers of the film, responded with comments saying that although she had every right to be angry of her portrayal, it's Biggie's movie and wasn't about her, implying that how she was portrayed didn't matter. Woo! Okay. Winnie Mandela, longtime wife of activist and politician Nelson Mandela, was blindsided when asked by a reporter how she felt about Jennifer Hudson playing her in the biopic named after her, only to reveal she didn't know there was a movie being made about her. I also didn't. Mandela was quoted saying, "I was not consulted, I am still alive, and I think that it is a total disrespect to come to South Africa, make a movie about my struggle, and call that movie some translation of a romantic life of Winnie Mandela. I don't know what would be romantic in our bitter struggle." Wow. Jennifer Hudson said that she wanted to meet with Mandela after she got the part, but was discouraged from doing so by the producers. Wow. Worrying it would keep Hudson from accurately portraying. How the fuck would that? Okay. Portraying the story in the book that the movie was being based on. The 2013 action comedy Pain and Gain about a group of bodybuilders who had embarked on a life of crime directed by Michael Bay is by far the most disgusting. Based off of a book of the similar title, which detailed the kidnapping, extortion, torture, and murder of several victims by the Sun Jim gang, survivors and family of the victims expressed major concern about the movie. Is this Susanna?
I think so.
Susanna Griga, whose brother and brother's girlfriend the gang killed and dismembered, says she didn't want the American public to sympathize with the killers. The person with the most to say was Mark Schiller, the Brooklyn-bred Miami businessman whose 1994 nightmare inspired the film. Portraying him as a deplorable, unlikable, sleazy, rude, abrasive, womanizing braggart who drinks, does drugs, and fires people at will. In the film, the Sun Jim gang have botched 6 attempts to abduct the wealthy businessman before successfully kidnapping him outside his deli to bring him to a warehouse to then torture him into signing away his home and fortune and trying to kill him by forcing alcohol down his throat and having him drive off a cliff. There's so much more, but long story short, it's literally a clusterfuck of events that this man went through, and his real story was made into a film meant to have the audience sympathize with murders for the sake of a laugh while real people are dead or traumatized. Okay. Pain and Gain.
I refuse to watch it for that reason. Like, I refuse to watch it.
Is that movie a comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And The Rock is in it too, right?
The Rock, Anthony Mackie, Mark Wahlberg, and Tony Shalhoub, the guy from Monk. He plays Mark's character. So, like, having read through all this, because again, to this day, I refuse to see the movie. It's considered a box office hit because it cost like $24 million to make, but it made like $86 million in box office. So, even if it's like shitty, it's considered like a success because it made more than it cost. This man was tortured for a month inside of a warehouse, and he was forced to like call his family and tell them and have them move somewhere else, and to sign his money away over to them. After then, yeah, they were like, oh, well, we can't have him live, obviously, we have to kill him. They was like, oh, we're gonna have him drink a bunch of alcohol and make it seem like he drove himself off the cliff. So they did that, but he survived the car crash. So they set the car on fire. He survived that. So they hit him with a car, and he survived that. So this is like a guy who's like, I'm not...
Survived a lot.
Yes, survived a lot. They kept trying to kill him, and he ended up surviving through all of that. And then, imagine, years later, somebody makes a comedy about it.
Okay.
Like, your friends were murdered and dismembered, and then they're like, ha ha ha, but feel bad for the ones who did it because, oh, he's sterile because he took too many steroids and, you know, whatever. Yeah, just, it's disgusting.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know
seen
either.
It.
I don't think I have. I just think I remember seeing the trailer for it.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. I didn't know that it was based on
true events.
Yeah, at all.
Because, you know, we're desensitized to this point to where based on true events, and we're like, oh yeah, right, you know, whatever.
Well, see, that's how they get away with it. Because if they say like this is a true story, it's usually like factual. But if they say like based on true events, you can make the movie without letting anybody involved in it actually know. Like, without having it be, like, consulted or anything like that, which is how they were able to get away with it with Winnie Mandela. They didn't need to buy her life rights. They just bought the rights to the book that they wrote about her that got the information wrong that was based on something else.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, Mr. T has information about the Queen's Gambit. I have never seen this show or movie. Is it a show?
It's a series on Netflix. And it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Say it louder. Yeah, say it out loud.
Oh, it is IDKY. They are suing Netflix. The story is based on a novel from 1983. If anything, they should sue the author. But this whole torture case turned comedy is awful shouldn't be allowed. Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
A part of the thing that I was talking about, she was saying that. Well, I guess the story is based on a novel, so yeah, that makes sense. But they were, she was talking about, I saw the first woman to become a grandmaster in chess happened in 1978. The Queen's Gambit took place in a fictional world from 1958 to 1968, so they wouldn't or shouldn't know about the grandmaster, about the woman or whatever, because it took place before her time. But also it's
1958 to 1960.
It's based on a novel.
But there's no telling if the novel even brought up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like just based off of that.
Wow.
Right, so that's the thing that's even crazy. If the show's supposed to be taking place between a fictional world in 1958 and 1968, and if she was 13 in 1954. And the actress that they showed portraying Gapirandashvili was like a grown-ass woman. Which means that she would have been like 17. I mean, maybe she was 17 because, you know, I'll look at you and be like, you look like a grown-ass woman, but they're supposed to be like a high schooler or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still saying like, saying the first grandmaster... Well, it's not necessarily the first woman to become a grandmaster. She, like, in the lawsuit, she was just saying that she does end up becoming a grandmaster. What Gapirandashvili was saying that, like, in the fictional world that the Queen's Gambit was supposed to take place up between 1958 and 1968, they're saying like by 1968, which is the end of the movie, by 1968, Gapirandashvili has competed against men, where in the show it was saying that she hadn't. It was saying that the main character was the one who had competed against men, and they were saying Gapirandashvili, you know, she's good, but you know, she's only as good as like other women who play chess, as opposed to, you know, the main character who she's played men and women and she's still on top. So even though they've never gone against each other, she's still better because she's gone against men and women, and Gapirandashvili's only gone against women. Like that's what the issue is. She's not there. They were not like basically saying like.
So the information was incorrect.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not that familiar with chess, but I'm
not either.
I don't see it as a game where there needs to be like best female. Thing? Yeah, I don't see it as a gender game.
Yeah. But it was back in the day.
I'm sure back then there was this prejudices, for sure. I mean, which makes sense. But it's just I'm thinking about what's the difference between a woman competing against another woman and competing against another man. Like I'm kind of thinking about chess now. I'm sorry, I don't want to get off topic, but I'm like, what's different? You still have to make the same moves. You still have to be smarter than the other person. Was it men are smarter back then? Like what? I don't get it. Like what's?
I feel like people see, even though it's not a physical sport, I feel like it kind of has like the same thing as women couldn't play like basketball. Women couldn't play basketball men. Baseball women.
But that was physical.
Like, no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I feel like even though it's not physical, it's kind of the same thing. Like women aren't capable of being at the same as men.
I mean, it's just like with cooking. Even though the whole misogyny of it is like, women belong in the kitchen, but at the end of the day, a male chef is seen as like so much better than like a female chef.
Yeah, it's just women aren't capable of competing at the same level as men.
You know how long it took before there was a female Iron Chef?
No, I don't. Actually, I really don't.
Really long time.
And that's weird because we belong in the kitchen though. But we
I didn't say that.
No, I know. That's what we're saying.
No, I'm saying for the camera.
Yeah.
I never said that. I never said that.
Making sure. No, obviously, be sure it's not.
Right, and then so what Miss T is saying, which is like the show's also the same name as the novel, so it's no denying it's based on the book. Yes, but I haven't read the book, so I don't know if the book even mentions Gaprindashvili at all.
Yeah,
because again, when you're basing something off of a book, there's still going to be producers and stuff that go and like the writer, they're still going to go and do their own research on the situation. So they're going to be like, okay, well, what other characters, what other chess players were in play during this time that their name would be known for that aren't maybe mentioned in the book that we can like bring in or whatever. So again, I've never read the book. I don't know if the commentator in the book said this exact thing. So that's the thing. So you can say, oh well, it was based off the book. It was based off the book, but this is still like a human being that's now being like visually portrayed as something. And again, I don't know if she was mentioned in the book. If she wasn't mentioned in the book, then that continues to be Netflix problem.
I have a question. I'm not an author yet, so I don't know the restrictions or the process of it, but so there was a book written on Nelson Mandela's wife, right?
Mm-hmm. Winnie.
And some of the information was incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
How does one get to write about another person, but they have incorrect information? Like, how is that allowed?
Because they say based on this. They either say based on this, even with like Pain and Gain, they put at the end of the movie, they put some event or some names have been changed for, victims' safety or whatever, even though they all came out and they were like, that's me and that's not what happened. But they were like, oh, some names were changed for their protection, or they'll be like some stories and events were changed for basically for the narrative
purposes.
For entertainment purposes and stuff like that. So that's how they get away with it, with wordplay that legally covers their ass, but morally
I cannot.
I have to watch it.
I feel the same.
I don't want to watch it, but I feel like to understand.
I watched it on bootleg, so I'm not giving you credit.
Yeah.
I watched that shit on bootleg. Yes.
Because even seeing the trailer, I was just like, why would I want to watch a movie about these people?
Yeah.
Killing these other people and then laughing about it. Like, that seems almost crazy. Like, I'll watch serial killer stuff because I'm like, I know you're crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, I'm expecting that. But like, even like way back when I was younger, and I'm like, this just doesn't seem right to watch. And then all the articles started coming back about like the people who this was my life. Like, I was like, oh, okay, so I was right to not want to watch this. This is fucked up.
I personally know for me, I would want to watch it. I'm getting that urge to watch it, and that is just for the sole purpose of being exposed to it.
Yeah.
So that I know what that looks like.
Yeah. Well, I want to know what they thought was funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know what that, like, that, because I'm sure they're not the only person who has done it. So for me, I would want to be exposed to that so that I understand it. I know what it is when I see it. Just because that's a character thing as well. That's a character flaw to me. You're willing to dramatize and make a real life painful experience for somebody comedic for your personal enjoyment, for your personal gain, for your financial gain, to make people think that you're this creative genius. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, that's not for you to do. That's not your place.
That's not your story to tell.
If I go through something traumatic and I try to turn it into something funny for my own mental health, like a lot of comedians do, that's on me. Yeah. That is not your place to take somebody else's shit that they've suffered through and make it funny.
Yeah.
And make it palatable and then profit off of it.
I'm like, what the fuck? That don't make no sense.
Like
but, no, I'm just saying. But that would be my reason for wanting to watch it, just so I knew what that looked like, because I need to understand that.
Because I understand that, like if you understand, like the construction of a joke and what makes something funny is it being dark. All the funniest jokes are rooted in some sort of really dark shit. But I've always felt that there's a level of like tastefulness. If that the first one to become an Iron Chef was Kat Cora. That happened in 2005.
I remember that name. Well, first of all, Iron Chef started in Japan from a while ago, and then they made Iron Chef America. But so I would say that. But as far as like Iron Chef America, let me see. You keep talking about what you were doing.
The last thing I said was.
You were saying the construction, like the jokes.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Oh, there's a level of taste, a level of tactfulness, where it's like, okay, it doesn't. And even in a comedy, they I forgot what it's called, but they know when okay, you're just beating up a person versus the actual construction of making something funny.
Okay.
So even in from what I remember, watching like videos on comedy on YouTube and stuff like that, there's a point where, okay, you're beating somebody over the head. Your intent isn't to make it funny, but you're saying it in a funny way to make yourself feel better versus oh no, this is how you, for example, you can make jokes about things.
Yes.
But there's a way it has to be done, and there's a level of, like I said, there's a level of taste, tact with it. And if it's like with this, it doesn't. I mean, they have Matt Damon and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in there. I can't imagine like a level of
seriousness.
Seriousness.
Tasteful seriousness.
At all.
No.
I'm sure they were just like, here's the check. Be Dwayne with a different name. Be Matt Damon with a different name. And
Mark
that's
Wahlberg.
it. I mean, Mark Wahlberg. Sorry, you know I get them two mixed up.
It's all good. Never mind. I was gonna say something mean, but
I know what you was gonna say.
But yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Yeah, there is a way to do things like that. There absolutely is a way, and this is just not like that's basically they both go. What both Jelly and Strike had said. They both go in with each other. If I decide I want to make a story about my life, about my traumatic events, and I want to make it funny, that's on me. There's ways to make jokes out of that. There's a tactful way. And a lot of, like you said, a lot of like
jokes.
Yeah, the jokes and stuff come from, bad experiences or, stuff like that. That's also, it goes with like comedians. A lot of comedians, in order for them to cope with their shit, they had to make it funny or they had to create the jokes, and that's kind of what allows them to cope in the way that they cope. So it's like they can do that shit because they're making fun of themselves and their life and all that, all that. I don't know why. This is also going back to originality. Yeah. Y'all gotta take other people's fucking stories and make them funny, make them to your shit in order for you to get something out of it, in order for you to be creative. Make a fucking story on your own. Make it about your fucking self. What the hell? Like, Y'all are not original. Like, you just really are not. Like, y'all be, y'all kleptos out here.
Yeah.
Kleptos.
Y'all whole life kleptos.
And a story like this, like the torture and
How is that funny?
It's because of how it wasn't
up.
like one thing happened and it was like, dang, that's crazy. It was like
A consecutive.
Yeah, like they were constantly doing things. Like in the movie, it literally shows them like taking like this man and this woman and like chopping them up and like putting their hands on the grill to like get rid of their fingerprint and like dismembering them and like dumping their bodies.
How is that funny? I don't get it. I can't even think about, because you know, like Scary Movie. Yeah. Like I can't even think about all those spoofs. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like I can't even picture it in that kind of way.
Oh,
like,
I see.
Like a parody.
You
like
can't
the
see it in a
I
light
can't
way
even see it in that way. I don't
like
understand.
if it were a drama, all right. If it were a horror, all right.
Okay.
If it were a spoof,
yeah,
all right.
All right.
But the fact that you were like, this is an action comedy, and it involves these things.
There's nothing funny about it.
Putting the viewer in the seat of the ones that did the heinous crime, and then making light of it on top. Yeah.
Right. It's just like you really like these
Chappelle
men were literally sentenced to death.
Yeah.
For the shit that they did, and you wanted your audience to sympathize with them.
Fuck that! You get what you deserve.
That's a real challenge. I challenge Dave Chappelle to make that funny. I guess that's the challenge. Make that funny. Yeah. Good luck.
I mean, maybe that was what happened in the meeting. They're like, oh man, this story's terrible. How can we make this funny?
Oh God.
You would have gotten way more money.
If it were a drama, you could have got a fucking Oscar off of that. Oscars love drama.
Y'all could have really gotten something out of that. Y'all played yourself. Not only did you show that you are creatively unoriginal, you're a klepto.
And a whole
and just a terrible fucking person.
Like, my life.
Terrible fucking person. Like you played your own self.
You klepto with my life.
Let's see where your career goes after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are they doing after?
Like you gonna need a whole new image to get shit back. Change your whole scheme. That's just awful. That's just awful.
To be honest, I can see it happening. I don't see it as funny, but I can imagine it.
I mean, I can see it happening because I can see people being like, "Oh, okay, this is how can we capitalize off of it?" Like I can see people. I can see people like thinking stuff like that. I can, because I do that where I'm just like, oh, okay, well, how can we turn this into a show? How can we turn this into, like, how can I incorporate this into my business?
But it's an agreement, usually.
Like, or, I mean, there's that, but I have lines.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I got lines.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And for me, boundaries. That's crossing a line.
Yeah.
Like, even now, I'm developing a sitcom based off of the people around me's life. And I constantly have to tell myself, okay, what things should I put in? What things should I keep out? What things should I like change and, up for the sake of drama and stuff like that. So I'm even having a hard time of getting this sitcom together because I'm just like, this was a really serious thing that actually happened. Am I stepping out of line by making light of it or adding more things that weren't there based off of it? And even though it's a sitcom, like the people around me know that these characters are them, and I don't want them to be like, oh, well, is this how she viewed the situation, or is this what she thinks of me, or is this, I don't want to come off this way, because technically, it's based off of real people's lives. So I don't see how people can just be like, oh, well, even though it was a very traumatic experience for them, I'm going to just add this to spice it up a little bit for the sake of story and stuff like that. Like, you really can't have, like, morals in this industry, can you?
No.
And my thing is, based off of, like, talking about that, now that you say that, like, it kind of, like, triggers something in my head. Just like when Jennifer Hudson wanted to meet Winnie Mandela because of her role. Like, how do you expect these actors to portray the most authentic version of this real life person if you are not portraying them in the sense that they should be portrayed in because of factual things?
But that's not what they wanted. They didn't
and that's
want
what
her
I'm saying.
to portray Winnie Mandela. They wanted Jennifer Hudson to portray the Winnie Mandela of the book that they made the movie off of.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you feel okay with that?
So that means that they knew that book was full of shit.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. How, like, this is the part. This is the, what do you call it? The consistent? Is it consistent? What?
What was wrong?
I'm trying to think like something that can, like a thought process that I continue to have with every time we talk about Hollywood. I continue to come up with this thing that gets brought up every single time, where it's, y'all don't know how to make money.
Y'all know how to make some money.
Y'all
think, oh my god, we made this cost like $3 and we made $30, and it's like, yes, but you could have made like $300.
Yes, exactly. And this is, so what I was trying to say is a thought that I keep bringing up every single time we've talked about Hollywood. I've always brought up, y'all really don't understand how to make money, because you could have avoided all this conflict right here, made a lot of fucking money, and like kept a good reputation to make thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of money later on. Like, you're thinking of right now, so you're greedy as fuck. You're not thinking about the whole concise.
They have a very like short-sighted view of making money.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me? If you would have depicted Winnie Mandela, like who she actually was and what she actually went through, and not the bullshit novel that's not even really fucking about her, like actual events and factual. She, like, you could have her speaking on your behalf. You could have press conferences and her, like, supporting that shit. Like, you could have involved her, and that could have been a whole big fucking thing. And you know how much respect you would have gotten? Get the fuck out of here. You have a bad reputation. You ain't shit, and I want you to know that. That's what that is. No. Like, that's what that is. Like, no. It's just I don't understand. If you're gonna, and I always say this, if you're gonna be something, at least be good at it. If you're gonna be money hungry, at least be fucking good at it. You're not good at it. You're just not. You're not. I would respect you way more if you knew how to move. If you knew how to move and make your money, I would respect you a lot more, even if it wasn't about your reputation. Oh, I don't care. I just want to always be able to make money. All right, then. Move correctly, then. What's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand. Are you trying to break down Hollywood so we can be on top? Because, I mean, keep going.
I'm cool with that.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm okay.
But, like, I don't understand. You're going to have to learn from the real pros right here.
So here's the thing. So Misogyny says doing things the same way over and over again, expecting different results. This is definitely right.
Insanity.
That is the definition of insanity. But see, here's the thing. They're doing the same things over and over again because they like the results that they're getting. Yeah. So I don't think they're expecting. I don't think they're expecting different results when they do this. It's like, I think I need to come up with a whole new thing. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting better results each time is stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupidity, because it's just like, oh, I'm going to, do this and get these results. And I'm going to do this and the same exact thing, but I expect better results. Is like, but again, if they're satisfied with the results that they're getting, I think it's just, maybe it's like they're like I'm living comfortably, I'm making money, what matters, and we're like but it could be so much more. Like we're like the grinding generation.
Yeah.
Dude, but like you could be getting so much more. You could be doing so much more, and you're not. It's weird.
Yeah.
On top of all of that, damn it, what was I gonna say? Dang it, you said something, and like I was ready to, but I was like, no, keep it.
They like the results.
Oh, okay. to add to that, yes, they like the results, but what helps these results is loyalty. So your loyalty either to the directors. So if you love a certain director, you're going to keep watching their shit. You're going to make sure you watch their shit. You're going to talk about their shit, whatever. If you like the actors, so if they have certain actors in these movies, you're going to continue to watch these movies because you are a fan of the actors. And that's the shit that's unfortunate. It's not about the quality of what it is as far as storyline and things like that. It's based off of popularity and what has been previously done by the person. So I'm a little biased with James Wan. I will most likely watch all of his shit. But if I do see a trailer that does not look good, I'm not going to watch it. And that's something that people generally should have. If the trailer doesn't look good, or like if I don't like what I'm hearing about the story, I'm not gonna watch it. Not, oh well, I'm a fan, so like that's great and all, but like what if it's shit? Like, but also, are you gonna be biased just because of that? So are you gonna think that they're good just because they are who they are, or are you actually gonna think that they're good because they actually are good? Like, I know a lot of people who will watch all of a certain person's stuff, whatever, and always think that they're good. But if a bad one comes out, it's still like, yeah, but I think it was great, but do you think it was great because it was actually great, or do you think it was great because they can do no wrong in your eyes? Like it's so if you have loyal fans, yeah, your shit is always gonna probably come out good to them, and they're always gonna be loyal, and you're always gonna get money for it. So yes, that comfortability is there because people like your shit. So you can't fuck up every so often, and people are still gonna be loyal, which is cool in that way, but it's not cool when you're doing the shit that you're doing if it's wrong. Like there's definitely boundaries. There's levels to this. It's like
I think they just sitting in a boardroom looking at the chart and just like, okay, did the views go up from us doing the same thing?
Yes, that's why they got away with making such shit movies.
Right.
They were like, who's at the front of these tables telling you this is going to work out? Because they can spit some real game. They can spit some real game because this, just looking at this on paper, I'm like, this is not going to work. And it didn't work. Who's selling you this stuff? They're great.
Who's telling you this is a good idea?
Like, they need to keep their job because they're convincing you to give them money for bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, but for real though, like, okay, like what we were saying earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and they keep looking at the chart and they keep going up, whose ball is the court really? I mean, whose court is the ball actually in? It's in ours the viewers. We gotta stop supporting and watching shit that we think is trash. Because if we stop doing it, then, but it's not gonna happen because like what we were saying before, the loyalty has been established.
Yeah. Right, because they'll be like you said, if it's don't broke, don't fix it. If you got a bicycle made out of like duct tape and bubble gum, if it can get you to point A to point B, you're not gonna spend the money to fix the bike. Because I'm like, it's doing its job. I'm going to ride this fucking bike until the wheels fall off, and then I'm gonna get some duct tape and bubble gum and put that bitch back on there.
You know when that's gonna happen? That's gonna end up happening when the new directors and filmmakers challenge you.
Yeah.
That's when that's going to happen. When they're going to take over and you're going to see all the originality, all the stories being made, the storytelling happening where it's the storytelling and it's not necessarily the visual. Like, the visuals will be great, but what will impact people will be the storytelling. You're going to see that and you're going to be like, dang, man, I mean, everybody told you should have did it from the beginning. Y'all just money hungry. Y'all ain't in it for the right reasons anymore, and that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna take your fucking jobs, and you're gonna be real upset. Sit on that stack of money that you've been chilling on for a little bit. Just make sure you don't spend it because you might not get any more money in the future.
When you start seeing them charts start fluctuating, and you don't know what to do because you don't know how to create original content anymore.
We said it here.
You can call us and hire us.
We said it here.
Like they're just gonna be mad and be like, they're making fake movies.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, right.
That's fine. But how many lives is it going to impact? How much? Not even just the movies itself, but the type of people that we are. We not only do we come from a generation where we're like tactfully smart with our financials and like how we are creative and stuff like that, but we also come from the generation where a lot of us want to help others.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be the rich and famous who help others become rich and famous.
Yep.
Who help others be comfortable, because fuck you and your awful richness and your entitlement and greediness. Yeah. So we're coming for you.
Yep.
Just want you to know. Okay, bye.
Right.
Yep. Stay in your lane. Keep that energy. Keep that same energy behind. When we start breaking the box office, keep that same energy.
Yo, we coming for y'all jobs. Hollywood, we about to, I'm sorry. That was all up in the mic. All up in the mic. My bad. Didn't realize.
All right, so before we get into the next topic, we're going to take a really quick, 10-second break. I just got to turn on a light that I forgot to turn on. See, this is why I like to be behind the camera. If something messes up in live, I can't fix it. But we can't, so I'll be right back. Yeah.
Hey! Yeah! Nah, we meant to do that. That was the plan. Y'all gotta stay sharp. Come on, keep up.
Alright, it looks like it's starting to lag.
It's trying to find it back.
Yeah.
I stopped moving. There we go. Okay.
How about now? So we can blame.
Yeah, y'all can blame me, because again, I look, we got it. And as far as the internet, you can blame Spectrum for that.
Spectrum.
Yeah, that's Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
You can blame Spectrum for that.
Oh, okay. So you can hear us now.
Okay, y'all can hear us. As far as the lagging, again, it just started acting up out of nowhere. I did absolutely nothing but put y'all on a break. I'm glad y'all hear us. Woo-hoo! So we gon' just listen with your hearts. Listen to the stories.
Right.
All right, cool.
Same excitement. BTS heads to the stage! Flashing their newly acquired red diplomatic passports, BTS has made their way to New York to attend the Sustainable Development Goals Moment 2021 session of the 76th United Nations General Assembly. Tomorrow as special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. That was a lot. According to the,
I make long sentences.
Yeah, I was like, dang. According to the UN website, the Sustainable Development Goals are a blueprint for fighting poverty and hunger, confronting the climate crisis, achieving gender equality, and much more within the next 10 years. Okay, cool. The meeting will convene leaders from over 30 member states, as well as champions for the SDGs from civil society, the private sector, and international partners. Their listed objective of the meeting is, as the world is grappling with COVID-19 pandemic and major challenges, to progress across the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG movement, will seek to Number one, reinforce the continued relevance of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and build momentum in advance of major summits and intergovernmental meetings. Highlight urgent actions needed to ensure COVID-19 response and recovery efforts are equitable, inclusive, and accelerate the transition to sustainable development. Demonstrate the transformative change at scale is possible between now and 2030.
So I'll say this one because it's a lot. I'll do the next bit. Okay. So the 17 goals that the sustainable development goals that they want is 1, end poverty in all its forms. 2, zero hunger. 3, good health and well-being. 4, quality education. 5, gender equality and women's empowerment. 6, clean water and sanitation. 7, affordable and clean energy. 8, decent work and economic growth. 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10, reduced inequalities. 11, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. Climate change is real. We're going to be all dead in less than that 10 years, but, we're working on it. 14, ocean care, aquarium. 15, biodiversity, forest, and desertification.
I see.
16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And 17, partnerships for those goals. So this is the community or the organization that BTS are now a part of as the special presidential envoys.
Okay.
So they are doping it up.
Oh, we good. Okay.
Being hashtag cancel spectrum. Yes. They are doping it up. They literally went from like Taeyoung V was like, oh, if I wasn't in BTS, I would have been a farmer. Now he is literally one of he's a UN ambassador. And it's just it's insane. I can't imagine I almost feel bad because of like the level of like social responsibility and pressure that they have, but I'm very proud to, me not even to like have been like known about them for as long as they've been around. There are people who've been there ride or die since day one. So I'm fairly new into it, but I still feel like proud and happy for them to have come so far as like not just like K-pop idols, but like as men, as human beings, as members of this planet. And like now you're literally going to be one of like the voices, one of the like you guys are going to be one of the minds that is going to go into making this world a better sustainable place for the planet.
You can tell it's something that they want as much as the powers that be. A lot of I feel like they've increased the standard of what like an artist or a group,
a human.
They have increased. I will tell you, since I've been exposed, Jelly has heard me say this one, and I have switched my life because of this. And I will give Jelly credit because she brought them into my life, and I will give BTS all the credit for that because I did not have standards for humans as far as like a good heart, like be nice, whatever, but it was like the basic bare minimum of like bare minimums, like just whatever. And I accepted and let things slide more than I wanted to just because of things like that. But once I got to know BTS in the ways that I am able to with, their more intimate things and personal things that they do, and getting to see how they are and who they are as humans, as people outside of performances and stuff like that, getting to know them in that way, I'm like, oh, so genuine people do exist. Oh, so you can have genuine expressions and feelings, and there are people out there that won't judge you for those, that will love you for those, and also respect that you have those feelings and can talk those feelings, you know, can talk about those feelings, and you're not going to feel bad for having those feelings. Like, if I had this exposure to people like that at a younger age, I don't think I would have dealt with as much of the bullshit that I have dealt with. Because I feel like, I mean, although I'm sure they do with BS or whatever, but I feel like they just have so much more appreciation for life and for even having the ability to express and have feelings. Literally everything they have a feeling towards, they express it. Just like, oh, wow, like, all the time. Everything's wow to them. And that's awesome because it's genuine. Like, they look at the sunset and they're like, oh my God. Like, they're so happy about it and they're so appreciative of it. And I'm like, I just want to be around people who love the sunset like I do. Like, you know, I just want to be around people who light up because of life.
Yeah.
Who just never lose that light in their eye, that sparkle. And they have that. And oh my gosh, I love that so much. And because of that, I am literally like, I ain't around certain people. I don't talk to certain people. I do not do certain things anymore. Because no, I don't know. I want to always have the sparkle in my eye. I want to always have a smile every single day. Even if I'm sad, like, I still want to be able to smile, but still be able to be like, yeah, I mean, things are not okay. But, I mean, I'm pushing through it, right? Like, tomorrow's another day. We can figure it out tomorrow. Like, I want to be able to see life in that way, where I'm not doing the woe is me or, you know, or getting angry all the time. Like, I want to be able to be like, no, I don't like that. And I don't like that. Like, it doesn't make me feel good. And that be it. Not be like, well, you have to change the way, it doesn't make me feel good. And that's just how I feel. And it's okay. Like, I've seen that through them. And it's so crazy that I can learn from people who I've never met in my entire life. And I can learn such a valuable life lesson from that. And that's why I will always respect BTS. And that's why I do brag about BTS. When like it comes up, I will brag about BTS because people will try to like bring Beyonce into the mix, and I'm like, no, like Beyonce to me,
too high.
Yeah, the standard's way too high. Like, it's not even just about talent anymore. They're fucking talented, but you don't understand where they came from. Beyonce always had talent. Beyonce always had the ability to be able to do things and like always had the access to stuff. They fought for their lives for this shit. Like, they fought and fought and fought and fought and fought, and it's like, they deserve so much more. Like, even their fandom is better than the fucking Beehive. Fucking Beehive, y'all, that shit's full of a bunch of assholes. Like, the ARMY fandom, the sweetest people. The sweetest freaking people. Some of them be crazy. We already talked about that. The Sasaengs or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Some of them be crazy. But generally speaking, I have seen nothing but good-hearted, like, love from the ARMY. Like, when I've seen tweets, when I've seen things like that, like, I have seen a lot of that. More than I've seen Beehives. Like, sorry, nobody's in comparison with BTS to me.
And I'm just gonna read some of the comments that are popping up. Just like, for those that may not be like looking at the chat if they like review this, but I do just want to like read, because so some of these things they're right here.
I didn't get to look at them. I was
it's like, so someone's like, oh, I've been a fan since 2014. They debuted in 2013, so it's like fresh into the BTS career. They're like, I wasn't even 10, and it was like, now I'm almost 17. The world is crazy. They're like, oh, been a stan since 15. I'm 22 now. You know, and then so they were saying BTS using their platform for good, and that's what they've always wanted. They're like, oh, I've been a fan since 12. I'm 18 now. You know, it's just like, oh, imagine being 9 years old and discovering No, their song from like the earlier days, with no subtitles. And I was like, when I saw a BTS video with English subtitles, I cried. You know, there's still K-pop, you know, idol big groups that put out videos that don't have English subtitles now. And I'm like, but BTS and like HYBE, they understand the importance of interconnectivity, like between people who don't speak your language.
Wow.
You know, and then so Erica says, BTS literally saved my life. Like, they are so inspirational and admirable and made me believe that good things can happen and people can love you no matter what.
Y'all gonna make me cry.
Kenya says, it's like, y'all really grew up with BTS. That's so cool. And Erica continues to say, the way my self-esteem has increased so much. Like, I wish that I had that when I was younger, because the way I am now, I wish I was even half of that when I was younger. Miss T does to say, BTS literally helped me so much. I mean, I still struggle with my mental state with anxiety and depression, but BTS was there and was like, it's okay. Kenya James says, I'm accepting myself more, not trying to look good for others unless there's a fine piece of candy in the factory.
That's cute.
Miss T saying, so there was a video of RM during a concert when he was like, it feels like I'm using you guys to love myself. Because RM was having issues with his own self-esteem. So he was like, I feel like I'm using my guys to love myself. So I want to say one thing, use me, use BTS to love yourself until you learn to love yourself. You know, it's like, it's even, and then Erica says, it's even with BTS, even if you haven't met them before, you can feel their sincerity through a screen, which I find healing, you know? So, and that's definitely, and you can even ask Bella, I was like feeling really down and depressed, the other day, and I just literally, I put on This Is BTS Spotify playlist and just put it like on low and just took a nap. And just literally had BTS serenade me to sleep. Like, as I was feeling like really down and really depressed. I'm not sure how, I can't say for certain how I would have like reacted to BTS had I had them in my life when I was like younger, when I was literally like suicidal for like 7 years. I don't know how I would have reacted to them. I responded more to like metal because I was also angry. So they were like, angry. So I was like, you know, I don't know how I would have responded to them as that, but me as an adult having been through that and then just coasting off the fumes of having lived a life as down and as bad as that, they definitely like bring me comfort now, you know, being what I consider as like a stable adult, kind of, but even whatever still, yeah, whatever that means these days, but I still find comfort in their music, like when I am feeling down for the day or when I am feeling, you know, just like
don't do that.
Like when I am feeling like down for the day, like if I am feeling angry, I'll still pop on my rock and my metal, and I'll be like, ah. But like if I'm feeling just like where I just feel like I need a hug, and there's no one around to hug me, I will listen to BTS because it's literally like receiving a hug with their voices. Like I'll listen to Paradise, you know, and god damn it, they forgot they even made it. I'll listen to Paradise, which is like my top 3. I'll listen to Magic Shop, you know, or I'll listen to like Jimin's Serendipity, or even like lately I'll listen to like Jen's Abyss on repeat. It is so beautiful. But I'll listen to like their stuff there. So knowing that it's not just for show. Like, they don't create music just for the sake of consumption and making money. Like, this is how they feel. Like, when you hear artists that makes beautiful music and then you find out they're actually an asshole.
Right.
You know?
It's so disappointing. It's like heartbreaking because like you had love for this person that you had never met, and you had like, you looked up to them, and then it's like,
right, it's just like, disappointment. And it's
bad
like,
taste in your mouth.
Yeah, like, we're just constantly being reminded that, like, BTS, like, are not only just, like, yes, they're these famous K-pop idols, but they're also just, like, regular people who just want to do and give good in the world. And you know, I hate the fact that if at any point they feel like they have this pressure to just be like, oh, well, I want to do this, but the disappointment that would come from it, you know, it's just like, but at the same time, there's still, you know, like JK getting his tattoos. He was like, yeah, I know tattoos are looked down in my country, but I fucking want them. This is my story that I'm tattooing on my arm. You know, my dedication to my friends, my birthday, my birth flower, my sayings in life. This is my story. This is my body. So I definitely love the fact, he'd be like, I'm gonna show you a little bit at a time. I'm gonna show you a little bit at a time until I'm comfortable with it. But it's just like even with them, like I know that they don't let like the full pressures of like of society or what people might think of them stop them from doing what's truly themselves. So like that's just my thoughts.
No, just yeah.
So, and we're slowly trying to get B-Strike into this.
Well, I mean, I'm reading the comments and listening to you guys. That's incredible. I haven't heard anyone speak about any artist, not since like MJ. You know what I'm saying? Haven't heard anybody speak about an artist or a group of artists in that way. I mean, somebody said that like it helps them with their depression. Like I've never, like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like so. I mean, so that y'all know, I'm not that familiar with BTS. What I do know is what I hear them say, and when they're watching music videos and stuff. And even with just that tidbit, they're great artists and whatnot. I just didn't realize that they were impacting people on this level. Like Bella's sitting next to me crying and stuff. Like I'm sitting here like, well, what am I missing here? Like, what am I like? I need to become, So I appreciate,
He needs to watch Run BTS or Bon Voyage with us.
I don't look, y'all. I am.
They're funny as
noob.
hell.
I don't know.
We'll get him.
We're watching through In the Soup now.
In the
Soup. That's
Soup.
gonna be released on our Patreon. Blah blah blah. But we'll get him in on like season 2. That comes out October.
And it's basically them outside of performing. Like you get to see them, just not like.
You get to see the BTS.
Yeah, you get to see, and that's what it is. You get to see the BTS of the BTS.
I love that.
Right.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Where it's just like, what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna kick this punching bag.
Yes, literally.
And
just because I want to.
Like exactly. Yeah. It's crackhead shit. It's crackhead shit like that. It's just like, I'm so tired. Shit. Like he went and like grabbed like a yoga mat. He's like, he's gonna do yoga. He smacks it against the punching bag and then puts the yoga mat down and just walks away.
Yeah. I was like, so that's what he did. He just got up. It's like, and then bam, and then walks away. Like, okay, cool, that's great. Love your energy.
Yeah. And then like he walks by it later and just like rah and like kicks it and then just like keeps walking.
Yeah.
So he really doesn't like this punching bag.
I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
And
I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments.
No, you're good. And with the Jelly, whenever like we've had downtime and she's like been hanging out here and I've been hanging out here, we'll kind of watch like some funny little videos of them.
Trust
like
rated R&B.
Yeah,
I
like
watch
being,
them all the time.
Being their natural selves, like, and just like hilarious things that they've done and like their dynamic and stuff. And it's just, you can't help but laugh and like feel relatable to them. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, they do like stupid crackhead shit like I do, like, or the shit that I want to do but I'm too scared to do because I don't want people judging me. But they're not being judged. They're being like, not glorified, but like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome. You're just genuinely yourself. You're authentic. Yeah. And so it's just like
RM will sing his heart out, not able to hold a note. But no. So here's the thing: if he sings in the lower register, because he actually has a really deep voice, he says a lot of the times he actually speaks higher than his natural tone because people can't understand what he's saying because it's so deep and it just sounds like mumbles. But
you got pop smoke.
So he sings like up here. If he sings like when he sings like the lower octaves, it sounds great. But when he's like just droning around, he'll be like, fake love. Yeah. And I'm just
it's worse.
But he tries so hard.
And he even talks about it. He'll be like, dang, man, I wish I could sing. It seems so hard.
Right, but it's just like, you can sing, you just gotta sing down here.
Yeah.
You gotta sing down
here. But he wants to sing up here so bad.
Yeah.
Bass or baritone, what you think? You think it's a bass or a baritone?
I think it's a bass.
Oh, that deep.
Oh, wait, which one's higher?
Baritone.
I thought baritone was lower.
Bass,
he's baritone. He's not like Lido. He's not like Felix.
Soprano.
He's not like Felix, where like you're just like, was that earthquake? Nah, Felix is just working on his scales. Right? He's not that deep. He's not that deep. So I'd say he's like a baritone.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just great. But that's how I've been able to get to know them through all the, access that Jelly knows about and has, so I've gotten to know them on those levels, and that has really made me, once I got exposed, I was like, this is what I want. This is the kind of people that I want. And I'm sorry if you don't follow that, like, I don't care. Not that you have to be like BTS,
right.
But I want you to be genuine. Yeah. I want you to be able to express yourself. I want you to feel comfortable. I want, like, if there's ever a problem, you come to me. And that's what they do. They go to each other when they have a problem. I love that. Hey, I didn't like that you did this. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, they have those conversations. And I love that. And it didn't have to be attack. It's just, let's figure out why this happened, or not to do it next time, or whatever.
Right.
Like, it's to have conversations to come up with solutions. It's not I have to be right, you have to be right, blah blah blah, this and that. Sometimes they do get competitive, but that's more hilarious than anything else.
Right.
Like, that's more on a, like, no, I don't want to take the blame for that. Oh, I don't, like, it's more than being funny. But that's what I'm like, I love that though. Like, they would be my perfect human. Like, how I see humans, or how I want to see humans, they would be picture right there.
So if aliens come and they say, we need to speak to y'all, like, highest leader,
BTS.
I would, just because he's the leader, it'd be like President Namjoon.
Yeah,
Him.
Yeah,
but if you were like, oh, pick one, I would literally just, like, put their names on sheets of paper, just be like, either one would work. Either one would work.
Yeah. Just because,
It's okay to take space, and two, even if you take space, solve your problems. Don't leave them unsolved.
Yeah, don't leave your problems unsolved.
They will not.
What kind of life lessons y'all learning from these guys?
I think it's like, so all the life, I think it's interesting how they were like, oh, well, you just like them because they're famous. Like, there's a difference between idolizing somebody because they're an idol, and then idolizing somebody because of, well, I wouldn't even say idolizing.
Appreciating.
Right, it's just like, no, we don't feel this way because they're famous, because they're, like, gorgeous, because they're this, no, it's because of how human they make idols.
Okay.
Like, there's just like, oh, they're the pick. No, they're not perfect.
Right.
That's the thing.
And they're not trying
they're not trying to be. The fact that they embrace their flaws so much. The fact that they embrace their imperfections so much. The fact that they tell you that it's okay to not be perfect. You know?
And they show that.
And they show that.
Not just saying it just to say it. Like, they show that it's okay to mess up. Oh my gosh.
But I would say, and
cool.
I don't think, and you haven't seen it yet, like, to me, the funniest interaction, it's like 2 seconds long. It involves Mini Moni, which is Jimin and RM. It's when they were making a, like, Draconia coffee, which is like where you just put stuff in and you just, like, whip it for forever.
Dang.
Where they were making it on a V Live, and it was a V Live, okay? It was a V Live. There was the phone there. There was the they were on V Live. They were live. They were live streaming. And Jimin starts talking to the audience through the camera. And then Arm's like, bro, who are you talking to? And then Jimin's like, we're live. And he's like, oh, this is live? 안녕하세요. And he says, like, hello to the audience. This live has been going on for at least like 5 or 10 minutes already. So everything he's been doing, he thought it was just like happening. And then so he's just like, oh, we're live. 안녕하세요. And then the look that Jimin gives him is like the most like the fuck you think we've been doing, bro? Like, why do you think we're here? You think I'm just like, yeah, let's make some coffee? Like, why the fuck do you think I'm here, you're here, the shit's here, the camera's there? What the fuck do you think is going on, bro? Like, all that happens in a look.
That's funny.
Where he says nothing. Jimin says nothing. He just, that look said all of that. Like,
see it.
Oh, Jimin's sassy.
Like, right. Adding in the fact that he's a sassy bitch. He like, adding that in.
The sassy one's always my favorite.
Very sassy.
But when I say I had to, like, pause it and laugh for 20 minutes at this face that Jimin, I kept running it back over. Just because the look of innocence on Arin's face, like, he was like,
What's up,
like, what's up, everybody? everybody. And then Jim is like, like he was speechless.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, he's like, how is he our leader?
Let's see it.
How?
I know.
How have we been following this guy for 8 years?
And then it makes the news, apparently.
Yeah, the V-Lides
What?
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I like to this day, that's still like one of like probably like my top like funniest thing, and it only lasts for like 2 seconds. It's one face that Jimin makes, and I'm just like, I love idiots.
Yeah.
I am in love
so
with
crazy.
crack-headed idiots.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's why I'm on the couch.
It's so great. Why would you do that?
But again, they
I saw that.
but they embrace it.
Yes,
They
it's such
embrace
a
it.
beautiful, authentic thing.
They laugh at themselves.
Yes.
They don't take themselves too seriously.
No.
That's good.
And it's just
I like
like
that.
inspiring.
It just makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. But anyway, enough gushing about BTS because I can do this all
day.
fucking day. We will move on.
There's more. I forgot.
So to end that,
Kind of,
BTS heading to the States. BTS have a productive meeting tomorrow. You are the pride to not only your country of South Korea, but to all of us, and we love you. So do good as you continue to do. So, and then I'll let you take this last one
Okay.
since we split that one.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I gotta at least make it look. I'm still trying to do stuff. So let me change the topic.
Who said that? Who's King Mustafa?
Oh, hey, that's Friday.
Oh, hey, what's good?
Oh, yeah, Friday. He not B Strike no more. He Lil Strike. He got upgraded.
I like that. Upgraded.
Hi, baby.
You just call me Strike. It's good to see you, fam. How you doing, man? When you coming to
I
visit?
keep forgetting this is your name on here. I keep looking for like NYCS kid or whatever.
Right.
Alright, so. Alright, last topic of the day. Smoking in Korea. On September 10th, the Seoul Central District Court sentenced Icon member B.I. Kim Han-bin, 25 years old, to a probationary period of 4 years, a fine of 1.5 million Korean won, which is $1,300. US dollars, 80 hours of community service, as well as 40 hours of drug education courses. This sentence came from a one-time 2016 purchase of marijuana, which is illegal in Korea. If B.I. commits any additional drug-related crimes within his probationary period, the court will have the authority to sentence him to at least 3 years in prison.
For weed.
Yeah. Okay. Despite having donated profits from 2 other albums to charitable causes, B.I.'s label IOK Company has used this incident of bad news to make public that B.I. has pledged to donate monthly to Basic for Girls, a campaign to help girls from underprivileged homes, saying that profits from the copyrights and sales of his album and songs, as well as any profit from the content, will be donated to the campaign monthly. Weed in South Korea, I'm like, that's kind of cool.
I mean, that's good, but it's still just been like, oh, well, he's doing this now. And people are going to be like, oh, well, he's just doing it because it's like, no, he's been donating for a long time.
Yeah, this shouldn't be
the
any different.
company's
Yeah.
just trying to like push
Distract,
this.
yeah.
Distract.
Wow, okay.
Weed in South Korea has been illegal since it was banned in all forms under the Cannabis Control Act of 1976, which later merged with the Narcotics Control Act of 2000. However, in November of 2018, the act was amended and use of medical marijuana became legal, making South Korea the first country in East Asia to legalize medical cannabis. If caught using the Happy Smoke, a violation is punishable by up to 5 years in prison or a fine of up to 50 million won, about $44,000. A number of high-profile K-pop and K-hip-hop artists have been prosecuted for the recreational use of marijuana, which can extend past legal action because the societal backlash against the disgraced stars is often swift and serious. Okay, so
It's just weed.
my question,
Right.
was that saying in 2018 it became legal or just medical?
Medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana. My mouth don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So, does that mean that you can only, like, do they not have medical dispensaries? Or is it just hospital?
Just hospital. So that's why it was just like a limited legality.
Facts.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's confusing.
So it's just like if you like go to like a hospital to a doctor and you have like cancer or something like that.
Like, oh, you're going out anyway, so here's some.
Well, no, I mean, like, but yeah,
you're going out anyway.
So it's not like here when it's like, oh yeah, medical marijuana. Oh, I can just go down to like the medical marijuana shop down the street and be like, I have anxiety. Okay, here's an eighth. You know, it's not like that.
It's like they have to basically debunk your symptoms or not kind of thing. Like they have to make sure you are diagnosed with anxiety.
Right. I don't even think it's like anxiety because, you know, they don't even like consider anxiety a real thing.
Oh yeah, because mental health isn't a thing.
Yeah. Right, which is why it's so interesting that I think that kind of coincides with it because I'm like having one of like the highest suicide rates.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that they would pay more attention to the mental health of their citizens. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're getting better, but let's be honest, it's not great.
No. It might be a while.
And then if they considered like things like anxiety and depression and a lot of things that here in the US people got their medical, like qualified for a medical marijuana card for, then that would be a thing, you know, because I was like, yo, if like all K-pop idols were just able to like smoke even just a joint a week, they would be coasting.
Yeah.
They would be fizzing. They be chill.
Maybe just edible. Even just edible.
Right. Anything.
Get the body relaxed.
Right. And then what's interesting is that as I was like reading information up about it, they were saying that of illegal substances, more people end up falling susceptible to synthetic drugs such as meth.
That's much. No,
over there.
Oh, I don't know.
They were saying that like even though it's all illegal, the one that they have the most problem with is meth. You know, and I'm just like, okay, I can see meth being illegal because
that's.
I mean, I'm personally for the decriminalization of all drugs of all kinds because I'm like, if you want to shoot that shit into your body, that is
if
your
you're gonna
choice.
die that way, you're gonna die that way.
That is like I'm for like all of that, like sure, you know, and I'm like, but clearly anything that you have to snort or intravenous drugs are going to be a lot worse. You're more likely to die from it, more than likely that way. And it's gonna fuck you up in the long run mentally because it messes with your neurotransmitters to the point to where your body stops producing it on its own to where now you need this drug in order to do it. That's why I don't take melatonin. We're not, I can't go to sleep. Take melatonin. No, because then my body's gonna stop making melatonin on its own because it's getting it artificially. You know, the only thing I take is like I'll take like Tylenol and stuff because when I get a headache, I just can't function. But besides that,
I took melatonin and I stopped taking it because it stopped working. But I took it because I was told, like, I literally couldn't sleep for 4 days. I did not sleep for 4 days, and I fainted at work because it obviously caught up with me. And I spoke to the pharmacist at my job because I worked at a CVS at the time, and I told them, is there any way what can I do to help, like is there something I can take? And they only gave me options for like pills or whatever, but they were like melatonin was one of them because the other ones were like, it would be like that ZQuil thing and it'd be like, $10 for like 10 tablets or 10 pills. Dang. When it was like $5 for 150 tablets of melatonin, which is more of a natural thing, like rather than something that was chemically put together or whatever. And I did take that for a while. It did work, thank God. I consecutively like got more and more sleep after that. It took a little bit because my body had just like, you know, went through 4 days of not sleeping, but eventually it did stop working. So I just had to I was like, well, I'm not gonna look for something else to start taking. So I just eventually was able to kind of get my sleep. Meditation, music helped more. So I do that now if I have trouble sleeping. But there was something that you were saying before that. Oh, you were saying you do believe in like decriminalizing drugs for that for the reason of like if you're gonna use them, you're gonna use them, and if you're gonna kill yourself off, you're gonna kill yourself off, whatever the fuck, all that. I do agree with that part, but I would love to see the people who are dealing those drugs to get time or to get some type of punishment because you know what these things can do and you're giving them to people. Granted, it is their choice to get them, but I mean, they can just get them just to get them, or they can have access, or they can learn how to make them and get them that way. Like, biochemists know what the fuck they're doing. Like,
the only reason I don't agree with that is because a drug dealer on the street pushing fentanyl or heroin or whatever is no different than a pharmacist or a doctor or a psychiatrist pushing whatever drugs that they push from psych reps to get money for whatever amount of sales. They're no different.
And I also don't agree with those either.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take pills for that reason because I don't believe in Western medicine at all. I do not. So I think that's why I have that, because I'm like, you can do herbs. You can learn how to fix your body. Fix your insides.
Go to your local apothecary.
Exactly. And
get a pole tip. No.
Yeah. but that's why I have that feeling, because I'm like, I kind of want those people to get their shit because they know what these things can do. Just like pharmacists know what the fuck these things can do, and they should get their shit as well. That's why I don't believe that we don't know how to cure cancer. I know there's a fucking cure. I know there's a cure for all these fucking things, and they just don't want us to have them because they need us to be sick.
There's no money in the cure. There's money in the treatment.
Exactly. And there's money in keeping us sick. As long as we're sick, we need them. And that's what it is. And that's why I'm like, but I don't really like, yes, decriminalize the drugs, let people choose to kill themselves if they want to, whatever. Like, that's their thing. That's their decision. Whatever.
I mean, because there are countries that have decriminalized all levels of drugs, and they were like, the first few years were a little hazy because people were dropping like flies, but after a while it leveled out into where they didn't have people overdosing. They were able to get clean needles. They were able to get like education on how to take these drugs if they wanted to continue to take them, and a lot of people took them because they were illegal. As soon as they were illegal, they're like, where's the fun in that?
Exactly. And that's why, what was it? There was I don't know if it was a conversation or if this was like supposed to be a thing on one of the election things or whatever. I don't remember, but I remember it being brought up that they were looking at having places for those who wanted to, like, safer places for people to shoot up.
I remember reading about that. They're like, we'll give you clean needles.
Yes. And I wasn't even really against that. I was just like, dang, man, like, that sucks. Like, it hurts to know that people, like, do that. Like, it just sucks to hear that. But it's a better way for them, because also, if they die, at least they're gonna die in a better area. Like, that's just, like, I think about everything, and I'm ready for everything. I've lost many people to ODs. So I'm almost completely desensitized from that in a way where it's like, I feel bad, that sucks, where it's more like, that sucks. Yeah. Like, I hate that that's a thing, but it's reality. I'm not going to act like it's something I haven't heard before. It's something new to me. It's not. But, like, it's just, I would rather see people doing that in a better area, in a more safer place, in a place where if they can go, it's more in peace and not, like, just a body on the street or something found. Like, at least, it's, you still have your dignity when it happens. So I kind of agree with that. It's just unfortunate that that's how life is, but like Jelly said, it was a little hazy in the first few years, but once people started realizing, like, this is too accessible, this is, like, not really fun anymore, there's no, like, excitement to this, and there's no, like, rebellious to it, all stuff like that, like, it does lose that. And I mean, maybe they had something going for them when they came out with The Purge.
Right. And then those like don't do drugs ad that we were told when we were a kid. Like honestly, it's just like I partake in the happy smoke on the regular. No, like if it's offered to me, sometimes I'm like, no, I'm good. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes I only need like one or two hits in a rotation, and I'm just like chilling. Like I don't feel any like compulsive need to constantly do that. And I'm not saying that that's everybody. Mm-hmm. I know some people who cannot be sober, and it's because they don't want to deal with themselves when they're sober, mm-hmm. and the issues that come up in their minds with themselves when they're sober. Right. There are some people who take it to like avoid things. It's no different than people who stay drunk all the time. Exactly. Except there's some people like how they're functioning alcoholics. They're mm-hmm. functional weed heads. Mm-hmm. There are some people who I've met who I've never seen sober, but you'd never be able to tell. I just know they ain't sober, but you'll never be able to tell.
Yes. Yes.
He's been giggling over here. But there are people who are like that. Like and then there are some people who they fall in love with the sensation. But if we're talking about levels of different drugs, mm-hmm. weed's not the one that'll kill you if you keep doing it.
Right.
You can only get so high before you just lose function of your body.
Yeah,
you fall asleep, or you gotta take a break and eat, and then all of it just kind of sobers you back up. Or it's just like
dead, mouth agape.
One extra shot of heroin and you're done.
Yeah.
One extra grain of fentanyl and you're done. Like one extra joint, you're sleeping. Yeah. Or you're eating. Yeah. Or touching yourself because you like the sensation of just of it, Right, and the reason weed was illegal here was definitely racially motivated, and so and again, there's a reason why it was banned when it was banned, mm-hmm. because it was during the whole hippie mm-hmm. movement that was mm-hmm. happening in Korea. That was, of course, based off of like what was happening in the U.S. And they're like, oh well, because they were saying like the guy, the guy who brought it up to have it banned in Korea was inspired directly by one of the politicians who was pushing to have it be banned here, mm-hmm. which there it was racially motivated, but mm-hmm. there it was just like through like societal means, just be like, oh, they're doing it, we're doing it, it's bad, they say it's bad. Right. Look at what it's doing. It's having these people have free thought. What the fuck? That's mm-hmm. not what we're about. We're not for rebellion. We're for people falling in line. So this is what's doing it, so we're gonna ban it. So that's how it ended up becoming there. Right, 4 Benadryls and you're done. Exactly. 13 Tylenols or 13 aspirin, and that is your last headache.
Oh yeah, that's funny. 4 Benadryls.
Right, so like all these different things that are legal that can kill you, and here you have the one plant that, as Cat Williams said, that it grows like that, and should you just so happen to set it on fire, mm-hmm. it has some effects. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But one of them is not death. It is not death. All the other ones, you got to do stuff to it. There's science and chemicals. You got to deal with it. This, it grows, you burn it, and you're like there's, I say all the time, I have like a drink list and a smoke list of like BTS members. Like, these are the members I want to drink with because I know they're going to get litty lit, like Jin and Jimin and like Suga and his whiskey. Yes, but I also have like a list of like, these are the members that I want to smoke with because I'm like, I know that you can't handle your drink too well.
Who you want to smoke with?
I want to smoke with RM because I feel like that's going to be funny as shit.
Hilarious.
I want to smoke with J-Hope.
Okay.
Because he can't hold liquor that well. Not that well. He can better, but not that well.
You need to show him that one video where it's like 3 seconds in, and then it's like 3 drinks in.
Right. He'll just
I want to see these videos.
Yeah, he was like drinking like, yeah, and then like 3 drinks later, he's just like...
It's so funny.
Like for his drinking, it goes it's like this, and then it's just this. Like for other people drinking, it's like this, and then like a coast, and they drink more. But for him, it's like
I want to drink with JK because you know why. But also he's hilarious. Like he.
Like the only reason I wouldn't want to smoke with Suga
I want to smoke with Sugar.
The only reason I wouldn't want, I want to smoke, but the only reason I wouldn't want to smoke with him is because I feel like he would start spitting some real shit, and I would end up hitting him in the face. And
Okay.
I'd be like,
no.
nigga, if you don't shut up.
Okay, so that's who I want to smoke with.
That's who I want to smoke with.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I want to drink with Jacob. I want to drink with Jimin too, because Jimin's just all over the place.
Wait, but do you have to like respond and conversate, or can you just be like, damn?
Well, it's just smoking with them.
Well, depending on how much they can translate in speak in English or whatever with it, because I know
They don't have to. You can still understand. The weed make you understand.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, word.
But yeah, so it's just like Jin. No, I want to drink with Jin. I can't. I feel like if he smokes, he's gonna be off the wall. Nuts. So
Yo, Jin already act like a crackhead.
Right.
He's the one that just randomly picked up the yoga mat and smacked the thing and then walked away. Like
Right. I feel like if he gonna be high, he already gives half a fuck. He will give zero
That's how I
fucks
That's how
on weed. I feel like if Jen got high, he'd just be like, let's rob a liquor store right now. I'm thirsty.
Good.
Let's
I'm good.
go.
I'm good.
yes,
That does sound fun, though.
I want to drink with Jimin because Jimin just seemed really fucking fun.
Yo,
JK, because
yeah.
relationship. And then Sugar, because I feel like we would have some deep ass conversations and shit like that, and I just feel like he would be just like,
Jen
whatever,
becomes
like.
bilingual and drunk.
He really does. Jin and an RM, when they're drunk, they start speaking hella Konglish. And it'd be the funniest shit ever. They're the only ones that can understand what each other is saying.
They'd be so confused.
It'd be the funniest.
Everybody be so confused. Like, what are you saying?
Look.
What are you saying?
Weed makes everything okay.
Cause you know how
Right.
you know how the sentence structure is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if for instance, in the example that I know, it'd be like, oh, did you put this in the refrigerator,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for a rough translation, it would be like, did you in the refrigerator put
Oh.
Yeah.
right?
Backwards.
So when they were drunk, they were trying to look for the pork belly to cook because they were camping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Samgyeopsal in the jabango you put," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yo, thank God I'm learning both because I'd be like, what are these words?"
Right.
Some of them were words, some of them were not, and they were not in order. So.
That's funny. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
good.
yeah, with Taeyoung, I feel like smoking, he would be like the super cool, super chill one, because of how he seems hella distinguished. He's getting better. He says he was like, yeah, some people think that I can't drink well, but I'm getting better. It's not that you can't drink well. I don't think he likes the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to soju, he'll drink the fruit soju. He doesn't
Which is why
he
he'd be
doesn't
good
like
with
stuff
wine.
that tastes like alcohol.
Yeah, wine would
he'll
be good for him.
Right, he'll do wine. He'll do champagne. Well, no, he doesn't even really like champagne. He doesn't like stuff that tastes like alcohol.
Okay.
So if it's
I understand that.
if a fruity drink or a mixed drink or something like that, I feel like he could fuck it up. So, but I would want to smoke with Tay because I feel like he would do some funny shit too.
Yo.
He'd just be in the corner going
He would just be like, ugh. He would just end up in his own movie. He's just, oh my gosh, his personality is just that character. He is the main character. He is the main character in his movie. He absolutely
in his own
is.
movie. Right.
Yeah.
He be and honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
They'll be in the middle of challenges and then he'll just start doing his own shit. He'll I'm a prince. I'm gonna go over here and do this. You know, and just and he'll just
what was this again?
V.
Okay.
He'll just start doing his own. He's he's not even playing in the game anymore. He's just in the corner
his
talking
own
to this
shit.
cat.
Oh.
Doing his own
I might
thing.
be there.
No, but when I tell you all of them, I feel like I have a personality in me that relates to all of them.
Yeah.
It just becomes that. You just notice, you're like, oh, I could do this with this person, this with this person. Oh my gosh, we have to show videos after this. I feel like you need to understand why we're they're so great.
Yeah, so I have a drink list and I have a smoke list. And there's some people that are only on one, there's some people that are on both.
Who's on both? Give me one that's on both.
On both RM.
I gotta watch videos.
Yes, he's oh my god.
I gotta drink and smoke with RM for sure.
I'm gonna set my list up now.
I gotta drink and possibly smoke with sugar.
Okay.
It would. I feel like it would really depend on the kind of like mood that I'm in.
Yeah,
I would drink and smoke with Jimin. Cause I feel like I would have like a litty lit fun time.
Oh my
matter
gosh, yeah,
what.
Jimin's fun as shit.
If we lying, I want
Jimin's like your best
being
friend
serious,
that you feel like is gay but isn't gay, but he got all that sass that comes with a gay friend.
Right.
That's what it is. It's like you could talk to him about anything. But he would still want to get down. But,
Right.
Like,
he seems super cool.
Yeah. I don't know. You know that sassiness that your gay best friend gives you? That's what Jimin gives me. I'm like, I want him to be like, bitch, that don't look good on you. Why are you wearing that? Like, that's the vibe I get for him. Like, no, what are you wearing? Girl, you better go back and change.
Right. He's like, okay, now I'll take you to dinner.
Exactly, yes. That's what I get from him. I'm like, yo, I would love to hear you just talk shit. Like, I would just love that. I think that would be so fun. So
be
fun.
like, let's get drunk, bitches.
Yes! Let's get drunk, bitches! Yes! That's exactly what I'm saying.
But it's unfortunate that I feel like that there's what?
I like that. The last one.
Jim is the type of guy you look at when someone passes by, then y'all burst out laughing.
I can imagine that.
Right, like you just know what's in his mind. He's like, Again, he's the one who made that look, and I laughed for 20 fucking minutes.
You know his face. You know what it means.
All over his face.
You know what it means.
All over his face.
It's funny because I have like a whole bunch of BTS memes. But I don't know anything.
Like what they're from. Like,
and it's all of them like doing different looks
like
and stuff
faces.
like that. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's just they got caught funny faces of Asian people. Got it. You know what I mean? And then now that I hear that there's a whole
No, there's a whole thing. Yeah.
Man.
We're gonna show you the videos. They funny.
Yeah. I can see Jimin tumbling down the stairs. Is that bad? Look, Jimin can't sit in a chair right.
No, he can't.
Sober.
Videos of him falling out of chairs.
Like the chair's minding his own business, and then Jimin's like, and I took that personally.
So great. So
Jimin,
great.
when Aaron talks about height is proof enough. Yeah.
LOL. That is just great. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so Korea, you need to.
Right. So it's like it's unfortunate that there is a level of not just like helping your mental health, but there's a level of camaraderie and fun that comes with the partaking of marijuana that
unity.
That I feel like, especially in as stressful of lives that they have, that even in their free time they're not really I feel like I was like, it could do so much for like your mental health, for like your ability to like relax, to get even like some insight on some things in your lives. Like I just feel like that there's so much that's being kept from them as a society for the sake of old ways, old thinking, old policies, and
obsolete.
Obsolete thinking, obsolete like ways of living, just for the sake of like keeping them in line.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Yo, I say if anything, when it comes to like V's like.
That's funny. Who's that from?
I don't know. That's from BTS, but
no, not from BTS.
Yeah.
No, that's TXT.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know where he's from, but
that's V.
Oh, that's V.
That's younger V though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the freaking.
You got a lot of V memes. Oh yeah, with that sandwich, yeah.
Yeah, but he always had the funniest faces.
V literally has like some of the funniest faces. Like he be making faces all the time, but his face is truth. Because they're saying that he's basically like a whole like person vibe detector. Like when V be vibe checking people, especially over here where you get like these celebrities, how everybody loves them. They'll come up and they'll like want to take a picture. Who'll be in the back like, who'll be like,
Oh.
yeah, and they'll be like, oh. Oh, they just got vibe checked by V. Cross them off. Cancel.
Right.
We don't trust you.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah. He'd be all about that. It's so great.
So what's the truth?
Yes.
Right. They just be like, oh, you should meet this person. Yeah, let me introduce them to him real quick.
Right? Like,
And he's like, okay, he smiled. Good. Welcome back. We can let you in.
Right.
Where you from?
That
No.
actually looks like Stray Kids.
Oh, dang it. Don't get it.
But you got all the
Love
K-pop
it.
idol
That's
memes.
so funny.
I have more than that, bro.
I got a whole folder in my phone of BTS memes. When I say that, my storage is filled.
I love it.
Yeah. That's funny. Now
Army
I know
doesn't
who-
follow no more. Yes, come on.
Right, because it's be like, I'm sorry, he's pure. He's
And we
pure.
believe him.
We believe him. if his aura says back off of me, then right, it's like he can tell. He can tell. So that's why I'm like almost like nervous to like ever, because I was like I
am not nervous. I'm
need
a
to
whole
pass.
fool.
I need
so
to
you
pass.
gonna
Like
love me.
I need to pass this vibe check.
You gonna love me.
Cause it's like it's almost like when they're like, oh, like when you hold a baby, if they cry in your arms, you're like evil.
I think that's also why I'm not afraid, because
What?
babies and if a baby doesn't like get like, because there's a difference between like Mayette who has been sheltered versus like a baby who's been out and about and whatever, knows people and stuff like that. And when like a mom or dad hands the baby off to you, if the baby doesn't want to go to you, like people tend to believe the baby, like, oh, there's something off about that person. Yeah. Because I've had babies that I've never met just come and like sit with me or come and talk with me and stuff like that. And that's why I'm like, I know my animals come and love me. I can just walk by them and just be like, no, pet me, I need you to pet me. And their owners will just go wherever their dog goes and it'll come and lick my leg or whatever. So I'm like, animals fucking love me and babies love me. V's gonna love me. I'm okay.
Maybe I shouldn't work, because honestly, like
You good.
animals, babies,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's
why,
what, like, we
I'd be
fight.
like, why do y'all like me?
Exactly. And it's because you're a
I
good ass
still say
person.
that.
I'm not gonna
So-
lie, like the BTS memes with the eyelashes and nails
I haven't seen those.
be so fun. Like, you know how they have like the Peter Griffin one where he's like this?
Yes.
And has like that.
Yes.
They have those
No, they don't.
with like
You finna look it up?
BTS. Yes.
Okay, good.
Right?
Awesome.
Let's see. BTS nails and
BTS nails and spa. Nearby. What?
No fucking
Oh, dang.
way.
When they go to these things, hold on, let me.
The second one is killing me.
So y'all can.
That's what I was looking at too. I'm like, V, you look like a whole
Yo, you look stanky as hell.
stank. Like, bitch, don't come here.
Alright, so.
You do this so fast. I'm so slow at you doing this. Oh my goodness.
That is
Alright, so
great.
y'all can see what we're looking
Yes.
at.
Yes.
Cause seriously, these things be so
Ay, ay,
funny.
ay.
Like I be like, what?
No.
Yeah.
That looks too good.
But
Too
Right.
good. Period. Period. Oh,
She's
come
like-
on, Jimin.
Just V.
V. Yes. Yo, V beautiful. They all fucking beautiful. It's so
They be
annoying.
so funny.
Don't ever do that to my man. Here's the motherfucking tea, sis. Oh my gosh. I
Like
love
they be
it.
like the
nails are
funniest
killing.
things.
With
Yeah.
those
what's
buff
the-
hands.
Right, when they would start putting them in the bonnets. But what sucks is that because Jimin is so sassy, he has so many perfect like
this
poses
looks
for
good.
this.
This looks natural. This doesn't even
Right, he's like, this is what he looks like Sunday night when he got home, like after he's like
Right.
taking a shower and he's
Right.
drying his hair and watching like bullshit on TV.
Yeah.
This is what he looks like.
so
That is
funny.
hilarious.
It's so great.
Like it'd be like the funniest things. These memes be hilarious.
Adorable.
And that's Tay Men.
Tay
Like, that's not even
Men,
me.
yeah.
But they be doing these things when this started becoming a thing, and I was like, I need all of these all the time for forever because it's hilarious.
Oh man, that's
That's
great.
funny. I love it.
These are the
Like
best ones.
these would be like the funniest ones. So if you have any, please send me links to those because like
Yeah.
I laugh my ass off. And not only that, they know it's there because there was a V Live, or not a V Live, there was a Run BTS episode that they did where I should probably put like Taeyoung. They had like clips or whatever, they were making like flowers, and V on his own, unprovoked, was like, he was like, I'm gonna put these clips on my fingers, and then it was funny. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me see if I can just like find it in Google. Right? Where he was just like, let me get y'all back over there. Where he like put all the clips on his fingers.
Oh man.
And it was just like, and he was like talking like, we're gonna be making flowers. And I'm like, I know you see these memes, right? You wouldn't know about it. And it's like, you sitting here playing, being silly. And it's like, no. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Mr. Kim.
Yes, he know.
That's funny.
And I was just, so it's just like, so they're really like fun and like lighthearted people. But had they had access to weed,
it'd be a whole new game.
it'd be, oh man, they'd be at a whole other level.
Don't worry, guys. We're gonna smoke with y'all. We'll be out there somewhere.
See, and the thing that's annoying is just like because of how like Korea's legal system is set up. If it's illegal in Korea, it's illegal no matter where you are. If you are a Korean citizen, no matter where you are in the world,
so you just can't.
Like how when weed was illegal here, we could go to Amsterdam and smoke, and we wouldn't get in trouble. Mm-hmm. There, gambling is illegal. Smoking weed is illegal. So if you do it, like if they were to come here and smoke weed and they found out, you would get the same, like you could get like the same punishment as if you did it in front of like a Korean court justice.
They know. Wow, that's crazy. The army sees stuff like this, we get scared how much they know.
Yeah, because they be watching us. That's why it's like we know. There's like they be watching our stuff. We know because they stay hip to like even to the point to where it was like some obscure message of somebody who was getting to know the BTS members, and somebody had called RM Jonathan. And then people were like, who the fuck is Jonathan? And recently, because RM's birthday just passed, they were just like, they put in Korea like, happy birthday, Jonathan. And they were just like, holy shit, they know about that? Like, I'm pretty sure there are people who work at Hive whose job it is to know these
what's
things.
Going on, yeah.
And again, BTS will watch reactors react to their stuff. They'll watch like the BTS meme videos. Damn. Like they will do that because it makes them feel like they know what's happening within the army, which I mean it does. So like we know what army's talking, like we know what you're talking about. We know you talking about us. And we know what you're talking about too. So it's like they definitely stay really connected to like their fan base. Not saying that they're the only ones that do it, but that's who we're talking about.
We're gonna figure it out. Yeah. We're gonna figure it out.
Right. So it's just, so it'll be just like we're gonna have to do it like on a low.
Yeah. So nobody gonna know.
Low. Sure. No, y'all bodyguards can't come. They fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless they got a tree too. That's different. They said, nah, they ain't gonna have trees.
Yeah. I mean, and they definitely watch enough of them to where it's just like, if they see them on the street, they'll like recognize them. Cause that's the thing that happened with Brie Life. Where he was at a taping, I think they were on like I want to say the James Corden show. And he was sitting in the audience, and BTS had walked by, and JK was just like, oh, I know, like, was just like, I know you. Like, I've seen you. Like, I recognize your face from, like, reacting to, like, my stuff. So it's just, like, so they watch enough of it to be able to, like, if they see you in person, they'll recognize you.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Right. It terrifies Army. Yeah, right. It's like, it's amazing, but it's still scary. I mean, because they even showed, there was a person who went to a concert. They were there at the location for 2 days, right? And a person had bought a ticket, like, in the same, like, area for both days. On the second day, Taeyoung walks by, and he's just like, oh, yeah. And he's just like, he was basically like, yeah, I remember you from yesterday. Right, so they be looking at people in the audience and
paying attention.
I know, which is why another reason why I don't understand sasaengs, because it's just like, oh, we want to be noticed. They notice their regular fans, and they look at them with endearment, not of terror. right. So it's just like, I don't understand, because just like they're gonna recognize you, they're gonna notice you, they're gonna remember you. Which is why when like J Hope be going live, I be spamming in the comments, Jelly's here, Jelly's here, Jelly's here. So, you know. So I was like, just so you know, I'm here. I'm here because I know you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, I know Jelly. Yeah. I just want to remind you that Jelly's here.
I want you to remember.
I mean, of the millions of other people with their senpai notice me messages also going out.
Oh, man. That's crazy. That's nuts. I just want to smoke with y'all. That's it. I ain't know it's going to be...
That's what I'm saying. We just want to hang out.
I remember when a random member of Army found my IG when we started. It was scary because they be finding people.
It's okay. Find me.
We just make sure.
Because if they find like people who are like reacting to them, they're going to be like, who are they? Mm-hmm. What's their entire history? Mm-hmm. And should I be fans of theirs?
We dance. We dance too.
Shit, I will talk to every Army person who ever follows me. Let's have conversations about our boys.
Oh yeah, we ain't scared of y'all.
Shit. I'm like, yeah, find me, mama.
Right, I'm like, talk to me about BTS. I will do it.
I will do it.
Again, how we ended up on BTS. Smoking in Korea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm just getting educated.
Legalize this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
I think we're just saying we think it's messed up that you can get like years and years in prison for weed. I mean, they're treating them like they're black men in America with weed.
Jeez.
Like what the hell? Like these are your people.
Brown people. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, legalize.
Yes. So.
Legalize.
So what we're going to do is, as we usually do, now we're going to open up the chat, even though we've been reading the chat this whole time. We're going to open up the chat and see, you know, what other additional opinions y'all might have on the topics that we have talked about today. So, we've talked about elitist Hollywood striking again with, you know, Neil Blomkamp making it known that Denis Villeneuve is a fucking asshole because all these directors that are in work now, congratulations by the way, because not a bunch of directors were able to keep their jobs over the pandemic. How they're saying how things like Netflix makes fake movies, how Marvel makes copy, cut, and paste movies, and how their artistic shit is better than everybody else's. And we talked about True Hollywood Story with different producers in Hollywood taking real events of people's lives, making movies out of it, not quite sticking to the story and just being like, I made money off of it. Who cares? Who gets hurt along the way? YOLO, and the money's all for me. Then we talked about BTS headed here to the States, being the special presidential envoy for future generations and culture, talking in the 76th United Nations General Assembly, being associated with Sustainable Development Goals moment of 2021, which is all about basically making the world a better place within the next 10 years. A bit ambitious, but we are for it.
Hell yeah.
Then smoking in Korea. It needs to be done. Y'all are too stressed the fuck out to not be on weed 24/7. If all y'all just smoked weed for 24 hours straight, I guarantee the improvement of your entire country.
For real.
So, what is in the chat? What have you guys, hold on, y'all been doing all this when I was reading. What is in the chat? Let me go up a bit. Let's see. Saw that.
President research, 1 hours. BTS was the topic.
Well, BTS was the topic, so RM is hot. That's an opinion. If I said things I said in Twitch or the group chat, I could get reported on YouTube. Y'all be wild in the group chat. Y'all will be so wild in the group chat.
Oh, shoot.
See, but on that big screen only ish, like when they get no money, they will realize that it's a mistake.
Yep. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, they will always be getting that horse. As Bo Burnham said, I will kind of like, I'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops spitting out money.
Yeah.
It's still spitting out money, so swing, bitches.
Yep.
We be thirsting on Twitch. Y'all really do. Y'all be thirsting on everybody on Twitch.
I love it. Y'all funny. Y'all make me happy.
Y'all are great. If y'all haven't joined the jellyfish, join the cluster swarm, because it be awesome. It's great.
And stuff.
So we actually were able to like get a whole thing going for 2 hours. That was great.
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't count it being like 7, because we didn't the stream didn't act right until like 5:30.
Right.
So
we did
Which
a
is
great
true.
job.
we did. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
yeah.
And pat you on the back. And pat you on the back. We did a great
All the
job.
pets.
We all get pets.
All the pats. I love the pats. That's a little
Yes,
TMI.
this is great.
I love the
Listen,
pats.
That's not TMI.
Oh, that's not TMI at all.
That is
Oh, literally like a cat. If I put like my
Like anime.
not TMI.
Like the anime pets.
I mean, like if you were to just like literally, if I put my head in your lap and you just did that, I will like fall asleep, the happiest person in the world. Which is also why I'm like, me and Jay hope we good, because you like to do this in your sleep. And I was like, I'll do this to you, and you do this to me, and we'll just fall asleep.
Just fall asleep.
We'll just be like asleep like this.
I love it. That works out. That works out.
Thank you.
Crazy. Oh. Y'all sound like
Oh
fun.
yeah, y'all be crazy. They be crazy.
They
love
be
them.
like, they're like, here are some 6-inch heels for you to wear to step on my throat. Thank you very much, sugar. I will have another. Like, they be doing some crazy stuff in the
They're
chat.
so great. I love them.
They are great.
Y'all be great.
They be like, oh, he's got big hands, better to choke me with. Thank you, Jen. I will have another. Like, it'd be the craziest thing.
Oh no, but yes.
The more you talk, the more I think we're the same person. It's weird. It's cool. We are the same person.
It's not weird.
It's not
That
weird.
is not weird.
I mean, look. Look.
You're good. Like
You're
promise
good.
you. I promise.
People don't like to think of it, but there are more people like me than there are more people aren't like me. I'm just okay with it. I'm okay with
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all be fighting over who's making y'all breakfast. It's be the funniest, funniest thing ever. They be like, he's my man. Well, he may be your man, but he's my boyfriend. I guess who was here last night. You know, they be getting it like
funny.
they're really funny on the chat. It's great. I love it. So I'm realizing I'm actually enjoying being on camera. It's nice.
See?
It's like, again, I had to, it's me getting my own confidence up. So I
Yes.
enjoy this.
Yes.
This is nice.
We here for it.
This is nice.
Yeah, you gotta
Anyway,
do
it's dark. I'm hungry. I haven't
Same.
eaten since like
We on
10 o'clock this morning. Little strike, yeah.
What?
I had to fix my shit. I said we gonna expose,
Yeah.
Little strike to BTS real quick.
We gonna fuck his life up as it
In the
is.
best way.
that.
But yeah, I am hungry. I have not eaten since 10 this morning, and it is 7:39.
Same.
I am very hungry. We're gonna watch some BTS smut.
Just gonna have a good night. So we hope you have a good night as well.
Yo, these comments are great. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the current. See, I'm not in my right mind. All right, so we shall see you next week from 5 to 7 Pacific Standard Time as usual. All right, have a good one. Peace and chicken grease. Kimchi.
Ooh, that sounds bomb.